Stormers Podcast.
Yep, tonight the Basement Benchwarmers are back. We are live from Ed's basement because Ed's not here. He's off, so he decided to take a vacation, so we're in his basement. We're just taking over his
domain,
his man cave tonight.
I'm going to tell you what, his bearskin rug is so cool. It's so fuzzy.
So we usually start out with how the guys have been this week, but I'm going to start out first. We are from Kenosha, Wisconsin. Most people know that who listen to our show, so this last week has been a tough week for everybody. It's just been tough for a lot of people, and we just hope pray for our city. We hope for the best in rebuilding. A lot of stuff that happened here. A lot of outsiders came in. This isn't our city. This isn't our people. We know that. Unfortunate events of last Sunday, those will be figured out by hopefully the correct way and who needs to figure it out. And all I can say is I just hope and pray for our city. Any way you can help our city would be great. I understand people have other problems also. It's not just us. But remember, we are a small town, and it's pretty crazy for a town of 100,000 that it happens here. But it is what it is. A lot of outsiders came here and did what they had to do, and it is what it. And hopefully, it just kind of takes a better course in the next few days. But that's all I have to say about that. Besides that, anything interesting this week, Eric? Anything besides that? Besides being curfewed from 7 to 7 every night?
Well, it's hard to talk about besides that because it's dominated our life, and it's, like you said, a really tough experience for Kenosha, and not to get into all the details of what happened. And to me, I'm what gets me up in the morning and makes me stay positive is that the people of the city of Kenosha are strong, and they're down there, having faith in the future and cleaning up and doing their part, and people that are people even outside of downtown Kenosha and uptown are supporting the community by going down there and volunteering their time and painting murals and everything like that, and that's very inspirational. It sucks that it had to go down the way it went down, and I don't think we're going to get into that tonight at all. But Willie?
Yeah, I actually got up early this morning and drove downtown just because I've seen murals on Facebook and other things there, and I just wanted to see it for myself driving down there. And I'm going to tell you what, it's very inspiring. Kenosha, I tell you what, they're doing it right. The people are coming together well, and this hope they not only do this well, they do everything else well as well with this. So kudos to Kenosha. Kenosha strong, man.
And I hope just listening this week will maybe make you guys laugh just a little bit. So we're going to move on from that. We're done with that for the night. We're going to move on. I will discuss, though, to start out tonight, the first part of the show, the NBA players did protest. Also MLB. Hockey has followed a line, NHL. And once again, opinions are great, and that's fine. Everybody can have their opinion. And with the NBA, and I'm just going off of what the story was, the NBA was talking about not playing the rest of the season, which, as a sports fan, I understand. I get it. You have to do what you have to do to raise awareness to situations, and I get that. But the stories that are out there, and many have been told, the basic one is the NBA came back because obviously the players were looking. A lot of players in the NBA can't afford not just to walk away; they need to get paid, and I'm fine with that too. But with the NBA, I think the plan should be a better plan. I'll give shout-outs to Trey Wayans and also Donovan Mitchell. Donovan Mitchell has offered to donate. If you don't know the story, last week, officer while shooting in Kenosha, Jacob Blake was shot by police officers, and Donovan Mitchell has offered to donate, I believe it was $45,000 to the college fund of his three kids, and I believe Adidas offered to match that. So I believe it's at 90. If that's a shoe company, if I'm wrong with the shoe company, but I believe would be about 90 to 100,000 donated to his kids for a college fund. And Trey Wayans has offered to get in touch with him. If you have a business, he'll do as best he can to donate to help you out. Trey Wayans is a Kenosha native, a Bengals cornerback. So we thank him for helping the community because the community has suffered. So let's get away from that. Let's be done with that. Let's talk about fun stuff. Let's have some fun. I understand people will probably go, well, let's go away to a different place. Let's move away and let's talk about new things. So tonight's show, Eric will have his beer tent. Willie's going to have a Where Are They Now? Hopefully he can find himself. And, and then we're going to also have a snake draft tonight. We're going to do something different. I know football's coming, but we will do a lot of football snake drafts as the year goes on in baseball. But we are going to do our favorite sitcoms. We'll do 5 each night because Ed is off, and
I almost forgot his name, didn't you?
Yeah, he's gone. We're going to replace him already. And Eric does 5 usually, so it doesn't matter.
And didn't Ed screw it up? It would have been how many shows in a row for this guy?
Eric would have made it a silver anniversary. I'm sorry, Ed, it would have been our silver anniversary, so I'm really upset. It's like you didn't come to me and you were going to have a little Sybaris time together, and you didn't come, so I'm upset about that. And also our fan poll in honor of Chadwick Boseman, who passed away, who was Black Panther for the Avengers trilogy, or what do they call it? Not trilogy.
Marvel.
The Marvel Avengers. There's a word for it, and I can't even think of it. What's the word they use for those movies that are like... you guys
compilation.
Yeah. We're going to talk about our
franchise.
The franchise. There you go. The Marvel Avengers franchise. We're going to talk about our favorite Marvel Avenger character, and that's our fan poll. And a little wild card tonight. We have a couple things going on, and a little fantasy talk with fantasy drafts coming up. We had our draft last week. We're going to talk about our teams. We didn't talk about it last week much, but now that they're not listening, we can talk more about them and make fun of the guys that drafted with our divisions and make fun of each other's divisions. And we'll make fun of Ed's the most because he's not here. So let's start out tonight with our we'll start with our snake draft, okay? And our snake draft tonight was sitcoms. So we're going to just go around table tonight, how we're sitting, and our first sitcom, holy cow, one too many pre-show beers. Our first pick will be Eric tonight. And Eric, we're going to hit your theme song first. How's that sound to your first pick? And this is Eric's first pick for sitcoms.
So if you guys know this theme song, it is from the show MASH, which aired from 1972 to 1983. This one, on a personal basis for me, just reminds me of my childhood, sitting down with my dad and my grandpa, just laughing our asses off, basically, at Hawkeye Pierce and Trapper and Honeycutt, Radar, Klinger, Hot Lips Houlihan. I mean, it's just one of the greatest shows ever, just bringing laughter to the Korean War conflict. To me, it just kind of set the tone for what sitcoms have been out throughout history. Great show, MASH.
Wow, you hit the post on that. That's awesome.
Wow, holy crap!
Perfect. I liked it.
Wow, I didn't even know I did it.
Yeah,
I meant to do that.
So that was your first pick, and I like it. MASH, great show. And this is Willie's first pick, and you guys will know this for sure.
Medium turkey chili. Medium crab bisque. I didn't get any bread. Just forget it. Let it go. Excuse me. I think you forgot my bread.
Bread, $2 extra.
$2, but everyone in front of me got free bread.
You want bread?
Yes, please.
$3. What? No soup for you.
The best show about nothing. I tell you what, I mean, I remember that first season. I struggled watching that show, but man, I tell you what, Larry David and all the creative minds in that, think about the characters in this. You got Newman, you got Kramer, Elaine, a great looking woman who was hanging out with these idiots. George Costanza, can't stand you, and then Jerry himself, what was funny is the Soup Nazi was on the other day. I think it was on last night, and I had to watch it. It's just like one of those things. You look at Seinfeld, what is it? Okay, 9 chances out of 10 you're going to watch every episode of it. So
Willie and Eric started with like home run hitting things, and I think my show is more of it's the first time I realized nipples were on girls. So I'm just gonna play.
Hello,
they are. Here we go with my pick. So my pick is the classic from the 70s, early 80s, Three's Company, featuring John Ritter, Joyce DeWitt, Suzanne Summers, the original trio with Norman Fell, and Mrs. Roper. What was her name? I always forget her name. But it was a great show, and actually when they added Mr. Furley, Don Knotts was awesome too. It was a great show. It was funny. Every show had Jack in situations that were just. It is Three's Company to me is the sitcom, because every show was a stupid situation he was put in.
Right.
It really was. It was just like, what? And then he'd get out of it or get caught.
And they'd all hug at the end.
Yeah, and everybody was fine.
And then he would try to grab their nipples.
And what was the reason why Jack could live with those two women?
Because he was a gay guy, and he said he was gay.
Sure was.
And Mr. Roper would always make fun of that. You would never find it on TV nowadays.
Oh my God,
that is not allowed. So my number 2 pick, since it's a snake draft, so my number 2, I'm going to go with... you know what? It's funny. I'm going to cheat here because these guys don't have the chance to have this, but I'll give you a hint. Ready?
That's what she said.
I'm going to go with The Office. The Office is a classic. Came from Britain, came here. Ricky Gervais originally
That's what she said.
originally played the Michael Scott role in Britain, but it came over here and it became it just became a huge hit. If you haven't, and actually, I still come across people who haven't watched The Office, which is incredible. The Office is one of the funniest shows ever on TV, just because Michael Scott was just so naive to the facts of life, and it just was funny, and just what he said, he just had no filter, and he didn't think it's like a real life Homer Simpson kind of.
It's like Ed.
Yeah, just like Ed. So that's my second pick. I'll take The Office. Willie, this is your second pick, so hit it.
Archie!
No. It would never be able to run today.
It would never be on this show. I mean,
Did you watch when that was the live one?
I did not watch that.
Look it up if you guys want. Marissa Tomei, besides being very hot, she sang the song with Woody Harrelson, and their rendition of the opening theme is incredible. And her as Jean Stapleton as Mrs. Bunker is incredible. You watch it, you will be like, holy cow. It's reincarnation of Jean Stapleton in that role. It was incredible.
Well, I can remember like some of the terms that Archie would use, right-wing pinko and all these little terms.
Well, him and George Jefferson.
Yeah.
That was his neighbor, man.
That's right.
Down may take if they have that choice, but it was his neighbor, and it was just eye-opening stuff for that. As watching it now, it's like, holy cow, and it was just different time then.
I mean, I think there was 3 or 4 shows that came off of that show.
Well, I believe
Maude.
Maude was part of that. You're correct. Yes, you are.
The Jeffersons, like
the
you
Jeffersons,
said,
obviously,
and something else. I can't remember what
Which
it was.
the Jeffersons
Archie's
is
Place.
Archie's Place. Yeah, yeah, you're right.
Jeffersons was an incredible show, by the way.
I love the Jeffersons. Yeah. Well, we'll make that a pick of all of us right now. The Jeffersons.
Yes.
Let's say Jeffersons.
Yeah, we won't put that in the draft
because the Jeffersons was
incredible.
funny. It was, and to be honest, to me, and I will say this, TV has changed a ton, but that was one of the first shows that was an African American show. Because I didn't watch Good Times, so I understand it was one show.
Right, yeah.
But Jeffersons, I thought was a great show, and it was just the way it was set up was awesome, and it kind of turned tables because Mr. Jefferson or Sherman Hensley kind of attack his white neighbor a lot.
Yeah.
So it was funny, and I thought everybody thought it was funny too.
But yet they got along so well, and they always hung out together.
Yeah.
They just kept coming over.
Yeah. So not that it's right or wrong.
With Wheezy.
Yeah, with Wheezy. So, okay. Hey, great pick, Willie. Great pick.
So my pick is another show that's historical and had a long run, where everybody knows your name, and that's Cheers. Ted Danson, and you got Woody. And again, talk about shows spawning off. You had Frasier, and Frasier,
great show.
Another great show that's
I like
spawned
Frasier
off
better than Cheers, personally, but that's just me.
You had the dynamic between, Diane and Frasier, and Diane and was Ted Danson's what was his name on the show? Was it Ted? But whatever. Former Red Sox player. You got Normie. You got Cliff Clavin. Just an incredible show, an incredible run.
Can you do a Cliff Clavin imitation for us?
Nami. Yeah, that's a bad. You put me on the spot
My
there.
favorite saying ever, and this is so true in the world for anybody. It's Norm walking in the bar, and they say, "Hey, Norm, how's it going?"
Norm!
He's like, "Hey, It's a dog-eat-dog world, and I'm wearing milk-bone underwear. One of the greatest sayings I've ever heard on a TV show, and it's true for everybody. It really is. It crosses everything.
Yep.
And the Frasier thing was funny because Frasier, actually, his character on Cheers I didn't like. Mm-hmm. But then when he had his own show, it was hilarious.
It was awesome. And his dad.
Oh, the dad. John Mahoney. Is
Who just passed a few years ago.
He was a big Chicago.
I hope we're not taking anybody's picks.
Yeah. Well, no, Frasier, you know what? Frasier's a group pick again.
Another group pick.
Another group pick.
I can live with that.
Yeah, Frasier's an Ed pick. We'll give Ed the Frasier.
Great pick,
Ed. You're doing great.
Good job, buddy.
Ed's having his best show.
Great. This has been my favorite Ed show, actually, so far. So it's a snake draft. I get to go again, correct?
Yes, you do.
So I'm going to pick another show that was historical and had a great run and gave us lines like, pivot!
Yeah. Yes, sir.
And fine by me! And I'm going to do all David Schwimmer, right?
That's it.
Or the time that Joey is eating jam and spilling all over his face, and Jennifer Aniston says, Joey, you're so pretty. So that show would be Friends.
And you're doing quotes. You didn't do the Joey quote? Do it.
Come on.
How you doing?
There you go. There you go. You gotta do Joey. You gotta do Joey.
So Friends, historic run, great show. Love it.
So Willie, you're back with the bat here with your third pick.
Third pick. You know, I'm always off the
Reservation.
Let me tell you a story about a man named Jed.
Oh my!
Wow! Yes.
It was
Yes.
Oh.
Hey, Ellie Mae was hot, and I'm telling you what, Max Baer, he was a former boxer. His dad was a boxer, I believe. Then you got Buddy Epson, and I forget who Granny was, but you had Mr. Drysdale, you know, and the
Granny was probably younger than you.
probably pretty sure. They made her look really old, really good. But yeah, it was a fun show to watch. You know, hillbillies in Beverly Hills. You know, that's crazy stuff. You know, Jethro Bodine eating a bowl of cereal out of a.
Jesus.
How do you top that?
I don't know.
You can't.
He threw me for a loop because I had
so many shows.
I had a pick in my head, and
can we each pick 10?
I know we could do this for hours.
Yeah.
I'm going to do a show that I thought was incredible. And this show, they venture to Kenosha, Wisconsin, see a concert once in a while. The 70s show.
Oh
yeah.
The 70s show. And actually, if you look at the actors in that show, it catapulted a lot of people to prime, to Topher Grace. You have Mila Kunis. You have Ashton Kutcher. You have the pedophile or the rapist, supposedly.
The rapist.
The rapist. Who played Hyde, Danny Masterson.
I can't get past Mila Kunis. What else did you say?
The best thing, yeah, I agree.
Laura Prepon.
Yeah, Laura Prepon, and she actually is the least known of all of them.
Right.
She's Orange is the New Black. She was in that. And that was a great. That was. I didn't watch that, but I heard it was a great show.
Yeah.
But the dad was incredible in that show.
Mm-hmm. Oh my God!
Just his timing was spot on, and the dumbass every other word was awesome, and
yes.
A great show, a show I watched all the time, and I have to obviously say I'm going to go with the 70s show for my first pick. My second pick, I'm going to take a show that I think this guy's hilarious. I've seen him in concert, and just going to say King of Queens. King of James, might as well him.
And it's James...
you screw me up now.
Gandolfini.
No, sorry. Kevin James. You all screwed up.
Rest in peace.
And Leah Remini.
My parents. Little side story. My parents actually met her at a farmer's market in L.A. and she was very nice. But the person that was with her, my parents knew who she was, and she said, "Well, don't approach her because she's not into that." And make a guess who Leah Remini was hanging out at the farmer's market. My parents saw this person too. I'm going to give you a guess. A-Rod.
Oh, J-Lo.
Cameron Diaz.
Eric's. Willie's right for once.
J-Lo?
Yeah.
J-Lo, yeah.
Yeah. You know why Willie's right? She's probably from Michigan.
Nope.
No, I'm just kidding. So J-Lo was hanging out with Leah Remini at the farmer's market, and and my parents saw both, and Leah Remini was super nice. J-Lo didn't, and they never tried to approach J-Lo, but they were told not to. Leah
Remini.
Was she also on Saved by the Bell?
Yes.
Yes, she was. Okay, she was the daughter of the person, the dad that owned the beach house.
And she was in Old School. She was married to Vince Vaughn.
That's right.
Yes.
And it was the look at the baby, look at the baby. That whole thing?
Yes. So I did 2 picks, right? Yeah, I did. So it is Willie.
Wait, where are we at total here?
No, I've got 3. I've got 4 now. So
I've made 3.
So it'll be 4, 4, 5, 5, 5. Yeah, so we're good.
All right.
So I'm at.
Wait, I've only made 3 picks.
Oh, Jesus Christ. You'll get 2 in a second. You'll be done. Willie, here's your 4th.
Tell you what, it's-
I'm going to guess Willie's taking a show that's black and white. Here we go.
Yes, he should. He should.
Andy Griffin? Is Andy Griffin coming?
No. I'm going to go with something else. I'm going to go with Everybody Loves Raymond.
Ooh, I never really watched that show, but
My That was
God.
the King of James. The hour. The hour
Yes.
long was awesome.
Yes,
Great
right.
pick. Great pick. I love it.
You know, I mean, the parents. Peter Boyle. What's the one thing? What's a weird thing you know about him? You don't know about him.
He was young Frankenstein.
But he was in somebody's wedding.
I don't know. Yours?
I believe it's in John Lennon's wedding.
Well, if you say I believe. You're
I believe.
telling
I'm
us
pretty
wrong.
sure. I'm pretty sure he was.
Wrong facts right now are hurting
No.
people.
I'm not
Don't
going to
give us
hurt me
wrong
because I'm pretty
facts.
sure that's the one thing.
Okay, he was.
Look it up there.
Are we going to edit
Sparky.
this? We're going to edit this?
Yeah.
Is it
No,
my
he
turn?
was in his wedding.
Okay.
John Lennon's wedding.
Jace's in here. Look up if Peter Boyle was in John Lennon's wedding, and then tell us in a second.
That's right.
Okay, move on. Eric,
So
you get 2.
I'm so okay. So I'm going to pick a show that featured actors by the name of Danny DeVito, Christopher Lloyd, Tony Danza, and that show was called Taxi. And another one that just brings me back
Judd
to
Hirsch?
my. And who was the crazy dude, the man on the moon? What was
Andy
his name?
Kaufman.
Andy
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 Kaufman.
Kaufman.
And the lady the lady who was very good looking lady,
Yeah.
the redhead, Mary Lou Henner.
She was
That's
a
right.
fox.
She was a fox. Ladies.
Yes,
Willie
she was a fox.
Was she in the wedding, Willie? Let's see. Here we go. This is how I'm playing it. Boyle met his wife Lorraine on the set of Young Frankenstein. Why are you showing me stuff that makes? Oh, it was the best man at John Lennon was the best man at his wedding.
Yes.
So John Lennon was Peter Boyle's best man.
Yes.
Why
okay.
does he have all those free Culver's gift cards?
I don't know.
That's weird. The dumpster.
He likes ice cream. He's behind Culver's a lot, so he gets free things.
So,
I'm sorry. Not to
my pick there was Taxi.
Taxi.
Okay. So now it's a tough it's tough from here because I only get one more, right?
Yeah.
God, you know,
There's
this
about
is just-
10,000.
there's so many, it's ridiculous. So, I'm gonna go with Ginger or Marianne, right? That was always the debate. Ginger or Marianne. I mean, another great show. People that just what did we get shipwrecked here? We're on an island, and it's Gilligan's Island, and it was just the goofiest show you could possibly imagine, but it made you laugh.
You know what, Eric?
Another one that reminds me of my childhood, Gilligan's Island.
You know,
Denver, Alan
you know what, Eric? A lot of people like to be shipwrecked right now.
Yes, I wouldn't mind it.
I'd be fine being shipwrecked on
With Ginger and Marianne?
With Ginger and Marianne,
Yes,
oh, of course.
exactly.
I'd be fine. And Gilligan.
And I could just fake being a doctor.
You want to play doctor?
Yes, there we go. So I guess that's my last pick. I have like 10 honorable mentions.
We'll get to them.
Okay,
We'll get to them. Yep. Willie,
15 honorable mentions.
your last pick, Willie?
My last one, I think, is you're all going to agree with it. Curb Your Enthusiasm.
Oh my! Yeah,
Never watched it.
and you had to
Never
do
watched
that.
I never watched Curb yet.
Well, no, you had to do it because you picked Seinfeld. You
Seinfeld.
said Larry
Larry
David was a
David.
genius.
Yes.
And that show is, Scott, you got to watch it. I
my
haven't
God.
seen all the seasons, but an incredible, just hilarious. Picture Seinfeld with profanity.
Oh,
Yes, it's awesome.
Oh.
Yeah.
Yes.
We all like swearing.
So I didn't mean to steal your mojo there, Willie.
Flock, yeah. No.
Oh, okay.
So
go ahead.
Curb Your Enthusiasm?
Yeah.
Great
absolutely.
His wife's good looking too.
Yes, she is.
And-
Very cute.
I can't remember the guy's name, but he's the dad in the Goldbergs.
Yeah. Great show.
Yeah.
Another great show, which lines up with. I'm torn between my next pick and the dad and the Goldbergs. Look up what's Dad's name of Goldbergs. Check it out.
Come on,
Figure his
Sparky,
name.
look it up,
Give us
Sparky.
that. We can't. You're here, so you can help. So I'm gonna go. My last pick is it's so tough.
Yeah.
Because there's so many, like Eric said. But I am going to go with what we need right now, is just be able to sit back and just watch something and just get away with it. Jeff Garlin is the character from Curb Your Enthusiasm,
Yes,
also
absolutely.
the father from the Goldbergs.
The Goldbergs.
I think we need more of this, and I really do, just to sit back and laugh at things. And Family Guy.
Oh, there we go. Yeah, there we go.
It is one of the best sitcoms out there. I know The Simpsons is the longest running sitcom ever, and that's not stealing our invention, but that would be one. But
Because they never age.
yeah, but yeah,
Cartoons never age.
correct. But just the way the Family Guy hit is just you watch it and they make fun of everybody. Not one person. They make fun of everybody, everything, anything. So right or wrong, what you think. It's just something you can go, oh, this is kind of funny. So
What'd you send out last week
what did I send
about the
out?
Family Guy doing some song or something like that?
I can't remember. There was a couple. They were
It
fun.
was so
they were
good.
they were doing remakes of songs that were pretty funny.
Oh my God, it was.
I
so
can't remember
good.
what it
Oh, you
was.
sent something? Oh, yeah, I didn't watch it yet.
Yeah, it was pretty funny though. I can't remember the song it was, but maybe I'll post it if it's
Appropriate.
if it's okay.
Politically correct.
I'll post it on the site. But I think they were.
Oh, no, it was Old Town Road.
Yeah, they were saying.
Oh, yeah. I didn't watch it yet. I got to watch it. Yeah.
So for me listening, I'll post it on our site. Old Town Road by a few of the cast members from Family Guy. It was pretty, and it's actually not a guy, not anybody associated with the show. It's a guy doing all the voices. You can see him in the corner, and he's not part of the show, and it's pretty incredible. It's
He
pretty
nailed
funny.
them.
Yeah, it's pretty good. So honorable mentions. Eric, you had a couple. Throw a couple out. Give us two.
Oh gosh, there's so many I want to give. I mean, there's some historically incredible sitcoms, but maybe because Willie is our historical guy, maybe he'll mention them. I have some that maybe people don't know too much about. A show called Arrested Development.
Great show.
Oh, great
Which
show.
was on Fox,
Great
and then
show.
it got canceled,
Great
and then
show.
now it's back. It popped back in Netflix. Right now, I'm binge watching Community, which it's just another. It is the perfect sitcom, and it covers a lot of things. And it aired like 2006 to 2012, and it's funny how different the world was even then. I mean, that was just a short time ago, and they could just do all these different things. A lot of their episodes have been taken down because they're considered controversial in 2020. But a great show, hilarious.
Give one more. Go ahead.
I just want to give one more. A show that I just watched on Amazon Prime, and at first I'm like, what is this? You know, this is going to be cheesy. The Marvelous Mrs. Maisel is one of the funniest shows I've ever seen in my life. It has 3 seasons, a 4th season coming out on Amazon Prime. At first, I'm like, "What is this? This is ridiculous." But it's a female comic trying to get her way. They're in like the setting is like the '60s, and it's just hilarious. Just great actors throughout on it.
All right, so I'm gonna show my age because it's stuff I grew up on. So number one, Lucy, you got some studying to do.
That is the original. That is the original physical comedy sitcom ever, and she's one of the funniest ladies in the history of anything.
I mean, she had
Hands
like
down.
2 or 3 shows that went off that I Love Lucy. But yeah, I mean, she's an awesome redhead, you know. And then the other one is
Yeah,
Andy Griffith.
Yep.
Andy Griffith
Yep,
show.
yep.
I mean, always love, you know, Don Knotts, you know, Barney Fife, Aunt Bee, you know, and then Andy Griffith there, you know, with his thing always bugged me about that show is his pant leg was stuck inside of his boot. I hate that.
So I'm going to name a few, and obviously I have a list here, so you guys can maybe react to them. How about Throw Rock from the Sun? You ever watch that show?
that was hilarious. I watched a lot of that.
Yeah,
That was hilarious.
It was a good show. I just named Married with Children.
Oh, good.
Yes, very funny.
Yeah.
Probably right up Ed would have said that because that's very irreverent.
How about this is a story about Fresh Prince?
Fresh
Bel Air?
Prince, yeah.
Yeah, that was.
Absolutely.
I'm just reading off a list I have here. I'm not.
Yeah.
I'm not picking Golden Girls. Another one of those shows that.
My favorite.
Yeah, Willie. That's Willie's favorite.
Hey,
You guys. I'm surprised nobody brought up.
Sunday, Monday.
Well, not surprised. Yeah, Happy Days is a
Happy
big
Days.
one. Yeah. How about Scrubs?
Scrubs was one of my favorite shows.
Scrubs
I
are
have
great.
Scrubs written down.
There
but
actually is a podcast out there when you're not listening to ours with and I can't remember their names. Oh, Zach.
Zach was hilarious.
What's his name? Zach.
Starts with a B.
Zach.
Branoff?
I can't remember his name. And then the
Zach Braff.
his buddy in the show.
Yeah.
They have a podcast
That
called
was-
We're Not Doctors. I
That's
believe it's called
hilarious.
that.
I got to check that
Yeah.
out.
So-
Those two are hilarious.
After you listen to our show, go over and listen to them. Also, how about Family Ties?
Oh,
Great show.
And a couple of cartoons we forget that were the Flintstones was one of the first was the first animated sitcom on primetime TV. So Sanford and Son,
Incredible.
I love it. Freddie Prinze.
And you mentioned Good Times
Yeah,
before.
Good Times.
That was
Yes,
another great
yes.
Chico
show.
the Man.
Yes, Chico and the Man, another
That's
one.
right.
Yep.
How about one? You said Happy Days, but and I'll shout out to Ed. It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia. Another one that
Yeah,
is.
Ed loves that show.
And I'll give him. He can be another pick for him. And we did say Taxi. WKRP, the Bob Newhart Show.
Parks and Recreation.
Rec.
30 Rock was another really good show.
30 Rock was very good.
Barney Miller.
Yes,
Yeah.
Barney Miller.
We could go all
We could do a
day.
whole show on sitcoms. So we're talking about sitcoms, and Jace is actually sitting down here, and we'll take the perspective of a youngster. So, Jace, what are your couple favorite sitcoms that you can, besides The Office, a big Office fan that's already been named. So, what is a couple of your favorites? What do you got for us?
Well, I loved watching The Middle and Modern Family. I started watching them because you guys used to watch them all the time, and I started watching them with you guys. And those are really all I got, just those two.
Okay.
Like them, they're funny. And also The Goldbergs.
The Goldbergs, yeah. Those are, Goldbergs and that's a show we forgot to mention was the original Goldbergs, The Wonder Years, was actually the original.
There you go.
If you think about it. So,
Yeah.
The Goldbergs is funny.
Winnie Cooper.
Yeah,
Winnie Cooper. Swing.
Everybody loved Winnie Cooper. And the Modern Family is just the way they play off of the wordplay and how they move the show along. It's written pretty well. It's a good show. Obviously, it's done. And The Middle, another great show. Another show that's not on the air anymore. So, 3 very good shows. Pretty funny. Good call, Jace. So we're going to turn your mic off now. You're done. So we're going to move on to now our fan poll question this week and it was posted pretty late, so we don't have a lot of answers, but we have a couple of ours. In honor of the passing of Chadwick Boseman, who played the Black Panther, and also he was in We Are Marshall, and he was also in 42, which was probably one of his best roles. And he's been in a few other movies. All his movies I've seen, he was a great actor. Passed away of cancer at 43. Unfortunate. It's just, it's crazy. It's just sad. We asked people to tell us their favorite Marvel Avenger character from the franchise. We got that right finally. Mm-hmm. So a couple on mine today I have is what a couple of people asked. Not many people jumped in. Matt Hoppenstad said Iron Man. Rick Beasley said Deadpool. Eric, who is one of your favorite Marvels?
Well, I'm not to date, I'm not watching. I haven't seen a lot of the current Marvel movies, but back in the day, I was an Incredible Hulk guy. Just loved watching that show. Just the ability to get angry and turn into this big green giant beast. And there's a lot of days, especially this last week, where I wish I could have done that. Just got angry and turned into this giant green beast that just seeks justice and takes care of business.
Hey, Bill Bixby or Mark Ruffalo?
I'll take.
Well, I understand was a
right now Bill Bixby.
I'll take Bixby.
Yeah,
right?
I'm fine with that.
There we go.
Or Ed Norton, who played in the movie originally,
Right.
one of the movies. Yeah.
Yep.
So Willie, what's your take on one of your favorites?
probably the movie I watched the most is Spider-Man. I can't remember who the original actor was.
Tobey Maguire.
Tobey Maguire. That's right. I think he was in a horse movie too. Was he in Secretariat?
He was in Secretariat. Oh,
American
Pharaoh.
Hello.
Why's Eric got a tear in his eye?
American Pharaoh?
That's weird. So Jay, since you're sitting down, who's your favorite Marvel character?
Mine would have to be Star-Lord from Guardians of the Galaxy with his awesome music.
That's a great call. That is.
Hello.
I like that.
Damn it.
That is awesome.
I'm mad.
Turn his
You
mic
picked
off.
that.
Yeah, that's a great call, Star-Lord. I like that because the soundtrack is incredible from those movies.
Both of them.
So Mike's off again.
Thank you.
So a couple other picks I had. Nick Sturch said Iron Man. Julie San Martin said Iron Man. Iron Man's a fan favorite.
People like Iron Man.
Rick Beasley, again, on here said Deadpool. And then Linda Digby said Captain America. Something different they throw out. My favorite, I'm going to go with Deadpool. I'm going to stick with Rick Beasley. Deadpool it's not, don't watch with your kids, number one. That is not a kid-friendly Marvel comic. It is not even close. So we are giving you that.
Jason, did you see that with your dad? Open up his
I watched it at home.
Yeah. So Deadpool is not a movie you want to watch with your don't watch with your family. Trust me. But if you do, hey, let me know the reaction of the kids.
Can we do the other franchise and talk about Margot Robbie? Or
Margot Robbie for DC.
what was she? What was her
Suicide.
character? Suicide.
Suicide Squad. I'm
What
sorry.
was her character?
What is she?
Sparky, look it up on your phone.
Yeah,
I'll look it up. I forgot her name.
Margot Robbie. She played in Suicide Squad. The movie just came out. It was the name of her character.
I saw her last night on Wolf of Wall Street. Swing.
Yeah, the security camera.
You see different things in that movie. You see parts of her that.
That is a phenomenal movie, by the way.
Harley Quinn.
Harley Quinn. Yeah,
That's my favorite character.
Harley Quinn. Okay, so that is our for Chadwick Boseman. Anybody I know 42. I watched that today. I was actually watching this morning. It was on VH1, and it is incredible. I know a lot of things are going on in this country right now that are crazy, but we've come a long way from the time of Jackie Robinson. That is the plus to the whole thing. I know people might not think that, but we've come a long way. But it's a great movie just to see what he went through and all that, and he played that character awesome. Also, we talked about he was in Marshall. We Are Marshall. He was a great character, and obviously played Black Panther. That's why our topic came up. What other characters? I think there was another couple movies he was in. Look him up, Jace. Let us know the other movies he was in. But yeah, he. It's a shame at 43 passing away of cancer. Just not
Colon cancer, correct?
Yeah, not right.
Tell you what, and no one ever knew about it, correct?
No,
I had no idea.
He didn't, which I kind of give him credit for. He wasn't this guy that threw it out there and looked for a woe is me thing. He just tried to fight it, and he passed away. It was like suddenly, and nobody knew. He was, like I said, a great actor, and just a future for him probably was so bright too, because he played so many great roles. So, Jace, what other roles did he play?
He was in Draft Day.
Oh yes, he was. He was the player that Kevin Costner took over everybody else. You are correct.
Marshall. I don't know. If
we talked about that. Yep.
21 Bridges, and those seem to be popular ones.
Yeah, Draft Day. You ever see Draft Day? You haven't seen Draft Day?
The only thing I ever saw of his was Black Panther.
Oh, watch Draft Day.
I mean, I heard I have to see 42.
And he's not 42 is where he's more of the. He wasn't a big part of. He was part of Draft Day, but Kevin Costner was star of Draft Day.
Yeah.
But Draft Day it was a pretty good movie. It was pretty interesting, kind of, to see the inner workings, the best they could do for a movie of how drafts work. It's pretty crazy. So it was, so Draft Day, I forgot about that. So our next thing tonight, we're moving on to, guys, I got a couple Would You Rathers. We've been talking about this next week, but I found some new ones. Some new that just sports and might, let's just see what you guys think. So, Eric, would you rather only be able to listen to Christmas songs all year or only be able to watch nothing but horror movies?
I would take the Christmas songs. I'm not a big fan of horror movies.
Okay.
They make him poop his pants.
Well, it's not that. I just...
You don't poop your pants? Then? No.
Not anymore.
Oh, that's good. You stopped. That's finally you figured it out.
It's just you have to have the proper diet that day.
Less fiber, more fun.
Not so much yogurt.
Eat a lot of corn.
There you go.
Peanuts.
Constipate.
So, Willie, would you rather be a genius everyone thinks is an idiot, or an idiot everyone thinks is a genius?
Idiot that everyone thinks is a genius.
Yes.
I guess that's
There's a lot of that going around these days.
Hello.
So I saw one earlier, and I can't find it. I'm going to ask Eric this one since we asked about pooping the pants. So would you rather poop your pants once a year in public, or poop your pants every day in private?
Well, I mean, how public would I? Am I going to be in the middle?
At work, at Miller Park, and you poop your pants.
Well, Miller Park, who cares, really? If it was Wrigley, I'd be embarrassed.
Let's say at work, you just poop your pants at your desk.
So once a day in private, that's a lot of cleanup.
Once a day in private, or every day once a day in public. Once a year in public. Once a day in private.
I'm going to take the public.
I agree with you.
I'm going to take the once a year.
One time clean up and go, sorry guys, and go to the bathroom.
It happens. Hey, it was a rough day, dude.
Should have did that Schlitz and Taco Bell.
Remember,
I could blame it on some crazy virus or something, right?
Yeah, you're right.
A couple weeks ago, we had that Saturday Night Live that, oops, I crap my pants.
No.
So, Willie, how about this one? Would you rather pass gas every time you meet someone new, or burp every time you kiss someone?
I'll burp.
Wow, poor Shauna.
It depends on what I eat. Broccoli? Nope.
Jace, you want one?
No, let me ask
Brussels sprouts?
Well, I don't need one. I got them right in front of me.
Go ahead, Jace. Go ahead, Jace.
I should ask you one.
Yeah, go ahead, Jace.
Okay, go ahead. Pick one off the page and ask me. Go ahead. Well, now he's looking. Well, yeah. See, it's not easy being the
Dead
host.
air.
See, being the host is so easy.
Hey, get your mouth in the mic.
Dead air.
Here's a sports one. Would you rather shoot hoops with LeBron James or toss a football with Tom Brady?
Tom Brady.
Okay.
That's very simple. Question answer.
Okay,
You made it too
can you
easy
turn his
on him.
mic
Too
off
easy
again?
on him.
Now give me one.
You didn't attack me very well. So, Jace, would you rather run away from a bee or... No, I'm just kidding.
It was a murder hornet. It was.
And we saw that today, kids.
It was a sweat bee.
So, Jace, would you rather sneeze nonstop for 15 minutes once every day or sneeze once every 3 minutes of a day while you're awake?
I do the
Wait.
former all the time.
Yeah, why would you... I don't understand. Would you rather sneeze nonstop for 15 minutes once every day or sneeze once every 3 minutes? Oh, for the whole day while you're awake. So it means you sneeze for 15 minutes or all day every 3 minutes?
Oh, sneeze for 15 minutes because I do it anyways.
Yeah.
I do it. I get sneezing spells.
Mic off.
I'm with you, Jace. I do that every day, too.
I agree. The sneezing for
Like
15.
for 10, 15 minutes, I sneeze.
So we'll save
nonstop.
some of these for later.
I got one for Jace.
Okay, go ahead, Jace.
Would you have to...
Or Willie.
would you have to, when your parents get old, have to wipe your mom's ass or your dad's ass?
Oh, my God. Mic off of Willie. Mic off for Willie.
Just me and Eric dressing it up.
Yes. Hey, so Scott, how you doing?
Good, Eric. How's it going?
Good. Honeymooners.
Jason, an answer. I like red meat.
Brussels sprouts.
That's terrible.
Well, hey, you know,
We're gonna have to do
It might
what
be a
else is.
reality.
He's always been told moms don't poop, so it's his mom.
Yeah, I guess my mom's butt.
Wow. That time of the show, though, hop into the beer tent.
I like beer cause it is good. I drink beer because I should. If there was a song to sing, I sing it and beer you drink. I drink beer when I am sad, cause the beer it makes me glad. Now there's nothing left to say, so let's go drink beer. Beer is good! Beer is good! Beer is good!
Well, beer is good, of course, and so for my beer of the week, I'm kind of inspired by our show last week where we talked about summertime events, summertime games, and Willie gave us I think something we'll remember forever, and that's that Willie likes to play a rousing game of Coob. So whatever the hell that is, but I was inspired by the summertime game thing, and I went to Eagle Park, our friends at Eagle Park, during the week, and I picked out a beer. It's one of their newest ones. It's called Frisbee. So it reminded me of summertime, and it's a great New England style IPA. It's got tons of mosaic hops in it. Eagle Park again, Milwaukee, and now Muskego. In fact, I think they're doing all their main brewing in Muskego. So New England style IPA. It's a beer called Frisbee, and the guys are drinking it with me, and we're taking our first sips here. I think to me, it's a smooth IPA. A lot of Eagle Park beers, which I actually like about them, they kind of punch you in the face with flavor. This one, good flavor, and it kind of sticks with you. It's smooth. It's drinkable. You could have a few of them. I think you could probably play a few rounds of Frisbee or bags or even Coob as you're drinking it. So, beer of the week, Eagle Park, Frisbee. Sorry. Have another, Eric. Cheers, gentlemen.
That's right.
Cheers, sir.
Cheers.
I like beer.
You know what? Whenever you bring up Eagle Park, I get a tear in my eye because I can't go there and drink a beer right now
I like about this
before
8.5.
Bucks playoff games.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, you could go in there and have a beer right now, but
There's no game attached to it.
Yeah,
It
exactly.
doesn't have the
That's-
same.
Could be a
That's the
game of
tough
Coob
part.
attached to it.
Could be
Yeah.
a game of Coob, which would make me really not want to drink beer.
yeah, it's sad walking in there because I mean, I'm walking into the one that's we'd go to before Bucks games, and I go there and just kind of hey, let me get a 4-pack. What's your name? How you doing?
How you doing?
And then I walk out.
Well, that was thank you. It was
Yeah,
it was good. It was good beer.
Eagle Park Frisbee.
Very good
Boom.
beer. I liked it. Willie, what did you think about it?
I thought it was very good. The thing I like about the most is 8.5. You know what?
That is like a comment from Raging Alcoholic, basically. That really is. I don't care if it tastes like dog shit. The higher the alcohol is better.
Well,
Hey, you don't ever go to a bar? I look at, hey, what's the most?
Hey,
What the hell?
So just to set this up, in between IPAs, Willie's crushing 2 PBRs in between each, 8.5 IPAs. So this is what we get on the show.
yeah. So we get
This is why we lose him for like minutes at a time.
That's why I like to punch walls. I like to punch walls.
You know,
This is why
really
Willie's
now.
laptop was upside down last week during the draft. That's exactly why.
I did. Oh, holy crap! Don't even remind me of that.
So let's to give Willie a break to drink more beer, because that's what he does. Let's move to this week's Sportsman with Jace. Let's see what he's got for us this week.
This is the Basement Benchwarmers Sportsman, and it was announced early this morning that the Vikings pull off a trade with the Jaguars for Yannick Ngakoue. And the nation's top college football wide receiver, Jamar Chase, has opted out of his season with LSU. Padres at the trade deadline add first baseman Mitch Moreland in a trade with the Red Sox. And Cubs pull off a trade with the Devil Rays for first baseman Jose Martinez. Lionel Messi announced that he is leaving Barcelona after 20 years and will be on the move and is choosing Manchester City as his next club. But there are also rumors that he could go to Paris Saint-Germain with Neymar as they are trying to join forces. Why is there so much peanut butter down here, Ed? This has been the Basement Benchwarmers Sports Minute.
So the peanut butter is crazy down here, just in Ed's basement, like Jace said. But I'm going to do it. Here we go. Willie, what do you think about Messi? It's soccer time on the
Soccer time! Holy crap! I can't believe he's Man City, and Sparky over there is wearing his jersey. So I think he's all into it. I think it's going to happen. I think he's not going to go to Paris Saint-Germain. He's going to go and hang out with. He wants to be seen every week in the United States on the EPL. That's what he wants.
Okay, that's enough. Soccer's done. Unless Eric has a question.
Well, I mean, why wouldn't he go to Man City to party? But who's the biggest fan of Man City other than Jace? Will Hogue.
Will Hogue.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
Will Hogue actually talked to him at a show.
A friend of the show, right?
The most Will Hogue has talked to someone I've seen was my son Jace at a show after a show. It was crazy. So let's move on to the aspect of football right now. The pickup by the Vikings for us in this area is it makes their defense go from people said they had declining as lost guys. Well, Trey Williams was a huge loss, but losing Xavier Rhodes was nothing. He was terrible last year. And I believe their defense with the pickup of, what was his name again, Jace?
Yannick Ngakoue.
Thank you.
That was excellent.
I believe their defense has just moved back into being one of the better ones, because once you add a pass rusher, two pass rushers, it makes your defense better, and your cornerbacks can be mediocre. And they did draft a cornerback this year, and I can't remember his name off the top of my head. I apologize. I apologize. But I believe that makes their team better. Did this NFC North or Central? I'm sorry, it's called North.
North. It's called the North. Yeah.
The North right now this year will be a 9-7, 10-6 record. I have a funny feeling. I really do, because I think Detroit will be a little better, but I think the Bears' defense is good enough to compete. I think the Packers they're going to compete because they have Aaron Rodgers. It's just what it is, and I believe that with this pickup by the Vikings with their offense, with Dalvin Cook still and Thielen and Kirk Cousins, who is very underrated. People don't laugh and make jokes, but he's still a good quarterback.
Hey, like me now!
They actually got the cornerback from TCU, Jeff Gladney, which is a huge pickup. Thank you, Jace. And Justin Jefferson in the first round was a huge pickup also. So I believe that this is going to be a tight division. 9-10 wins, won't be surprised. And the big thing about it, people always look at that and go, well, 9-10 wins, what's that do? I think that makes you better battle test for the playoffs. I really do. I think it makes you better going in. Instead of winning division by 4 or 5 games, it makes you work all the way in. You keep rolling. And I believe the NFC North has a chance to represent this year deep into the playoffs. I don't know who it will be, but I think there's a chance it could happen. That's my opinion. What do you guys think about? I know, and we're all NFC North fans here. I'm a Bear, we got a Packer, and we have a Lions fan. So, what do you guys think about that observation?
Well, I mean, okay, so I just heard about that news today. I mean, I had an auction fantasy. We can't call it auction anymore. I'm sorry. It's salary cap.
That's right.
Fantasy football league. And I actually got into a bidding war to get the Vikings D, and that was on Thursday night. And now they add this guy. Now I feel good about the $3 I spent on the Vikings. But yeah, I mean, seriously, top 5, top 6 defense now in the NFL. I mean, they're back at it. I think that's great. And what you said about our division, you're right. I mean, I think we're going to talk about it more next week, but I did that playoff predictor, and I started picking games, and I was surprised at how many times I was picking the Lions to win. It was weird. And I did have them all kind of 10-5, or I had an 11-5 team. I know that. I won't say who it is. and I had the 10-6, and I think I had the Lions right in there, right in the mix as well. That other team that's in there, the fourth team, I didn't really pick them to win a lot of games, but yeah, I mean, you're right. That's huge for the Vikings to have two pass rushers like that, on both edges is huge. Maybe they could stop Matt Stafford.
Right?
Go ahead, Willie.
Yeah, I still like my Lions, but great pickups. That's right. Great pickups by the Vikings there. So I tell you what, it's going to be an interesting season, as we all know.
Jace also brought up what else did you bring up, Jace? I forgot. I can't even remember. Go ahead.
Baseball MVP odds. Is that where we're going? Or we're still talking football?
Well, what'd you bring up in your Sports Minute?
Messi.
Oh, you want me
We
to
talked about Messi. What else? We talked about football.
Vikings.
What was the other thing you brought up?
Koob.
Jace can't remember. So
there is a.
But that's what we're going to talk about with that. So actually, we're going to move right now into another segment of our show. We've missed last couple weeks because, you know what? I do like the preparedness and want to be thorough with what you're doing. So Willie actually doesn't want to bring a poor product to the show, so he does it every few weeks. So this is this week's Willie's Where Are They Now?
Willie.
Where are they now?
Willie.
Where are they now?
Willie.
Where are they now?
It's been a pretty tumultuous weekend here in the town of Kenosha, so I'm just talking about something that'll bring something to everybody. You think about this here. So this guy, he played for the Kansas City and the Oakland A's, the Chicago Cubs, and the LA Dodgers, 19 seasons. He was the first player selected in the 1965 draft. He was a two-time All-Star, and he was a world champion in 1981. So they were playing immediately in this early season series at Dodger Stadium when suddenly two people ran onto the field. The Cubs center fielder that day had plenty of experience dealing with streakers and drunks and other intruders in the outfield. He sensed something was going on. One was carrying a flag, which was not an unfamiliar sight during the bicentennial year of 1976. The two unfolded the flag in left field. They had lighter fluid and matches, and they were going to burn the flag. The center fielder, who served 6 years in the Marine Reserves, did not hesitate. He charged the pair, grabbed the flag, and kept running and saved the flag from burning. The men that were burning the flag had a political motive. They were against the treatment of American Indians back in 1976. So they're trying to make something happen there. So that photo has been compared to the flag raising at Iwo Jima. Kind of get it.
The thing about it, I've seen it, and I cannot remember his name. Eric, you have any idea who it was?
I can give you some stats. Maybe that'll help you.
I've seen it, and he was a Cub when he did this, correct?
Yes.
God, I cannot remember his name. Was it? Am I off when I say Rick?
Yep, you're right there.
Oh, Rick Honeycutt.
Nope. He's the day of the week.
Rick Monday. Rick Monday.
Rick
Monday. I knew it was Rick something, but I couldn't. But yeah, Rick Monday. That
right.
Okay. Yep.
So
Okay.
I mean, there was a guy in Kenosha this week. There was a flag burning. He saved the flag. I don't know his name.
CJTV. He's the Facebook guy that's running videos all week.
He's been all over it.
I don't know his last name.
He was very adamant about grabbing that flag. And if you see the guy, I don't know his background, but I look at the guy I've never seen him before, and when I saw his picture, when I look at him, he looks like an ex-military.
Right.
That's what he looks
Probably
like.
Was.
He's
Probably
a very, very. I mean, he looks like at one point he was in some kind of shape that was military to me, and I don't know. I could be wrong, but CJTV has made Kenoshans feel safer at times this week. So
absolutely,
shout out to that fella, and if you can donate to him, donate to his cause. Also, the other fella in Kenosha, Corey Elijah, please, yeah. the great kid on a skateboard, just going around town taking videos, and I guess as we saw Tuesday night, risking his life along with CJ. And once again, these are guys just trying to go give you peace of mind, maybe what's going on, and give you video. And if you can donate to them, please. The great people, great things. And the other thing is, it's funny how CJTV has disappeared from Facebook now for some reason.
It has.
I don't know why. I have no idea, but it's just really weird. I don't know. I think we're censoring. Whatever. Let's move on. It's sports.
But anyways,
go ahead.
What Rick Money's doing now, he's been with the Dodgers for a long time. He went to the Dodgers, back to the Padres, and then back to the Dodgers when Don Drysdale died suddenly of a heart attack. And so he's been with them, and he's doing a play-by-play with Nomar Garcia-Pera.
Not Tom Brenneman?
What'd you say, you?
Too soon?
Thom?
So let's go into this week's Comedy of the Week, and one of my favorite comedians. I've seen him live, and he's one of the up-and-coming guys. Not upcoming, he's there. Sebastian Maniscalco. He's hilarious, and I can't remember what clip I took, but let's just listen to Sebastian and see what he has to say.
It's weird, man. The world's changing. I don't know what's wrong with people. Go to the club. Everybody's got a tattoo now. Oh my God, I can't believe it. All the guys will get one, right? They'll put one on their bicep. Now, every shirt becomes a sleeveless. They got to billboard their tattoo. They got to show it off because there's like an emotional meaning behind it, right? Some idiot will come up. Excuse me. Hi. I'm sorry. What's the significance? Why do you have a cobra head on your bicep? What? Now the guy gets all emotional. He's like, thanks for asking. The reason I got the cobras 5 years ago, my father got, excuse me. My father got bit by a snake. So to remember him by, I put the snake head on my bike. It's not done yet. It's never done, right? They always got to go back, get shading. 2019, I'm going to have the whole cobra haul off of my body. For now, it's just the head, but what's going to happen, it's going to drape across my chest. It's going to cascade down my torso. The tail's going to wrap around my nutbag. Oh, don't laugh. It's for my dad, you know? It's going to creep around my back. The rattle's going to tickle my nipple. And out of my nipple, it's going to say, Dad. Rest in peace, you know? What the hell are you doing to yourself? What, did you forget he died? What, do you look down in the shower? Oh, yeah!
So that's Sebastian Maniscalco with his take on tattoos. Just lighter side, some funny stuff. It's comical. But let's talk about the NBA playoffs. And LA has moved on after taking Portland down 4-1. And the Bucks have me still, I'm going to tell you right now, I'm still selling. Man. I hate to do it. But I think the next matchup's going to be tough. The Heat, they got the Heat coming up. Them and the Heat both advanced. They start, I believe, Monday. I could be wrong.
They might take another
the Bucks
day
for
off.
me. I just want to tell you right now, the Bucks for being number one seed, they've been so disrespectful by playing at noon, at 1, at 2 on Tuesdays. Come on, man. They're number one seed, but the Lakers get 7 o'clock every night. Come on, man.
You know what?
Seriously.
They get a good night's sleep, man.
Yeah. Yeah. It starts on Monday.
5:30.
Monday night, 5:30. Well, 5:30, of course. The Bucks Heat. And you have Boston, who's Toronto, who they beat today. Boston leads the series 1-0 over Toronto in the semifinals. And you have LA Clippers waiting for the winner of the Denver-Utah series. And my Denver Nugget sleeper pick to get to the finals, I picked them. They are down 3-2, so I don't know. And you got LA waiting for the winner of Houston-Oklahoma City. So right now, if it plays out, guys, I know we had picked before, but Eric and Willie, what do you think about the Bucks Heat? Seriously, do you think the Bucks are in trouble? Willie, what do you think?
I do. I think they're in a lot of trouble because they don't defend that 3-point shot at all. And we got Duncan Robinson, former Michigan man.
Oh, here we go, Willie. He knows Duncan Robinson, but not Barry Sanders. Yeah. Come on, Willie. No, I agree with you 100%. Eric, what do you think about the Bucks Heat coming up in the next round? Man, I'm a Bucks fan, but I'm still selling. I really am.
Well, I'm still buying on the Bucks, and I think, obviously you're right. The Heat have had their number this year. I mean, they played 3 times. The Heat won twice, and all the stats are in the Heat's favor. And yeah, you're right. The Bucks are not defending the perimeter well enough. But I mean, you live and die by the 3. And I think over a 7-game series, the Bucks are a better team, and they just have more depth. They have Giannis, which, I mean, he put together historical numbers. I mean, nobody's paying any attention to the averaging over 30 points per game, 16 rebounds, 6 assists, and really only doing that in just a little over, I think it was like 31 minutes. And if you look at it, if he would have played even 36, 37 minutes, those numbers would have been inflated a little bit more. And I think, the last 2 weeks we've kind of killed my buddy Danny.
Danny, man.
We almost have to have Danny's corner here.
Danny needs to come on the show and defend himself because Danny, to say Giannis wasn't a top 20 player as we sit here today, you cannot name me 20 guys better than Giannis in that bubble right now. You need to get drug tested. Where do you work? I'm serious. So if you handle, what does Danny do? Not to pick on Danny. Do you know what he does for a living?
He's a successful guy. I mean, he works for a company in Illinois.
Well, not a basketball analyst. I don't think he's successful in that.
I mean, he's a basketball guy too.
Does he work heavy machinery? Because I stay away. He's on something, so just stay away from Danny.
I think people just kind of, what do we say? They just they lose their way.
Well, he is a Bulls fan, and don't get me wrong. I understand his thinking because he is being a Bucks fan or being a Bulls fan. Of course, he doesn't like the Bucks. I get that, and I'm a Bears fan, and I'm obviously not a Packer fan, but I've never sat down and go, well, Aaron Rodgers. Maybe right now would be an argument, but 5 years ago, I never sat down and go, Aaron Rodgers ain't a top 10 quarterback. I'm not. Yeah. I'm not naive to the fact he was a top 2, top 3. So although I'll bow my head and go, yeah, he is. You're right. Come on, man, Danny.
I mean, he's a basketball enthusiast, and he's trying to prove a point. But yeah, I don't think it's working. I mean, if you look at these numbers,
well, I don't see the Bulls on this playoff sheet, so I don't know. I don't know what's going on.
I think they just delivered Giannis a trophy called Defensive Player of the Year,
and we talked about this last week. And I think someone said here, if he gets both,
3rd time in history.
How aren't you number 1? I did see this the other day I'm sorry to interrupt.
Yeah.
I saw this on Facebook, which is true, everything you see. But someone posted I'm being sarcastic. I don't know if everybody got that. There was a thing, they got somehow the sheet of votes for MVP, and it was it looked legit, could be a lie. But I'm still, until it's called out, if LeBron wins, it wouldn't surprise me. But the sheet had Giannis
in a landslide.
Yeah. And I can't believe people would even vote for anybody else. I really do. It surprises me. I don't think activism should be a vote, but your play, and right now Giannis is by far
man, right.
And he could win back to back to back. What tells you what is he, 26?
25.
So what says he can't win again next year? So he's just going to get better, right? Because that time frame, what does the age they say in every sport? If I'm wrong, let me know. 27 is the number.
Mm-hmm.
If he's 25, 26, when he starts hitting threes and hitting the 15-foot jumper, which we know this guy is driven. We understand. I mean, they had to kick him out of the facility last year after games, not on an off day. It was at midnight, 1 o'clock, 2 o'clock, shooting free throws and shooting jumpers. You got to go, man. They had to kick him out. And I'm not saying the LeBrons and
no, they do it too.
And Lucas and all those guys don't do it. I'm not. He is so driven that you think he's going to get worse?
No.
He's not getting worse. He's getting better. Unless an injury comes up, God forbid, and you'll hear this. Knock on wood.
Yeah. Scott's head, by the way.
Yeah, that's Jason's head, actually. But I'm sorry. Go. What you were saying, Eric?
Finalize the original question was Bucks versus Heat, and I think it may be a 6 or 7 game series, but I think that there's a lot of depth on the Bucks, and Chris Middleton I think might be part of the answer here, and he's been playing well. I mean, he had a double-double. He had a double-double yesterday too. He had like 21 points, 10 rebounds. He's grabbing rebounds. He's playing better the last 2 or 3 days than Bledsoe. Brooke Lopez is having an incredible run right now, and he's another answer to that question. Tons of role players. I hope George Hill's head is in the game because, to me, he's an incredible veteran player. He's a leader, and you got so many athletes on that team: Pat Connaughton, Kyle Korver.
And Korver actually has been shooting pretty good on the ball.
And who's had the last 2 games has been awesome is Marvin Williams.
He has. You're right.
Shooting the ball, playing great defense. He got thrown out of the one game, which shows that he's tenacious and wants to win. He's been around forever.
You know what they're missing? One Matt Dellavedova.
Scott has never been able to say his name.
No.
Deli, baby.
Deli.
But DiVincenzo could be that Deli.
No,
he's the guy that's got to step up. I want him to step up.
I believe the Bucks are going to cut ties with Bledsoe here pretty quick. I think Bledsoe.
He'll be starting next
I was when I watched the games and I said that, and now it's been confirmed. He lost a lot of weight during his time off, and I don't know because he did. I can't remember if he did test positive for COVID, if it was part, but no story. If he would have been sick, super sick, you would have saw a big write-up about it. So he didn't. I just think he looks smaller now. He doesn't look as big, and not that it's a problem because I think the size he was before it was like he looked like a little linebacker, or he looked actually like a running back. Mm-hmm. And watching him now, he's just, I don't know if his size changed. I don't know if that's good or bad. I don't know what he did. I mean, and if he was sick, but like I said, would you have saw a write-up about it? I haven't. I don't know if you guys have, and tell me. But he does look a lot smaller now. And does it change his game? Some guys play at certain sizes, like, I'm here, but now I'm here, and he looks smaller now. And people have said stuff now. He looks. I just think the Bucks, they signed him at a 4-year deal, I think, last year, and I don't know what the thinking was there because I like Bledsoe. I know he has his moments where he decides he thinks he's the second coming of a 3-point shooter or whatever, but I don't know. I don't know what they saw in him. I mean, he seems like a good team guy, which I don't mind that. That's fine. And people that beat him up, I don't like that because he is not the one making 170. Middleton is, and you just say Middleton has a better game. Mm-hmm. But like I said, I mean, I don't know. I mean, this team, their time is now, but Giannis is still going to hopefully be there, and if he's there, there's a new. Once again, if Giannis is there, and hopefully they keep him there, they can be prosperous in the next 6-7 years and be always in the 1 or 2 seed conversation. That's what I think. I don't know. Willie isn't a big Bucks guy. I know Eric is, but Willie from the outside,
right?
What do you think?
Well, here's what I'm saying. Guys that were, I'm a Pistons guy, so who are not on the team this year that was on the team last year? Brogdon, right? Where should that guy been? That guy should have been sticking with the Bucks, right? And who got knocked out this year? Brogdon was with the Pacers, correct?
Yep.
So I guess it was all for the money, correct?
Yeah. Well, I got a question for you guys. You bring that up, Willie. That's a good point. So real quick here. So Willie,
yes.
You just brought up Brogdon. I'm going to ask you, Eric, as a Bucks fan, and I talked to some guys the other day. Would you rather have Brogdon or Middleton?
I would rather have Middleton.
And I'm asking because I don't know. I don't really have an answer.
So here's
I don't have an answer either.
I'm just asking.
Everybody, and I was one of the people that were upset last year when we let Brogdon go. And so Brogdon was a subtraction from last year. Look at the additions. Robin Lopez, who is way better than I thought he would be. I thought he's like almost the heart and soul of the team.
I agree.
And you brought in Wesley Matthews.
And Wes Matthews is underrated on defense. He's a good defender.
He's one of our starting 5. I mean, he's
a good
great.
defender.
And he could shoot. He shoots it, and he's clutch when he shoots.
Yes.
You brought in Kyle Korver. And then whether you would have done this or not, but you added Marvin Williams in the middle of the season. So the additions are way, way greater than that subtraction of Malcolm Brogdon, which you would have had to have paid a lot of money, so maybe you couldn't have made those other moves at all.
Well, how much did you pay for Middleton?
170.
A lot of money. $170 million. But that's the going rate. That's what it is.
Brogdon?
Like 130, 140.
But that's the thing. Brogdon got less.
That's my question. That's being outside looking in.
Looking in.
Yeah, I don't know. Brogdon, I don't know. Like I said, I don't have an answer for that. I've always liked Middleton. I have no problem with Middleton. It just frustrates me when I see in the last 3 playoff games, besides today, you said he was 21-10 today?
Yesterday.
Oh, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Yesterday.
Yeah, so yesterday.
So the last game the Bucks played as of Sunday.
But he played good the game before.
Okay,
great.
The couple games they struggled.
He had 19 in the fourth quarter in the game before.
But the thing about it is that
he is streaky.
Yeah, and you know what? It's fine. All NBA players are streaky. Even Michael Jordan, LeBron, they're all streaky. Mm-hmm. There's a point and I do say, I guess I agree to one point. In the fourth quarter of the game, they were up 2-1, and the game to go 3-1 was pivotal. You don't want to go 2-2 with a team that's not on your level. Okay, he did come out. He was terrible for the first 3, but he came out and fired off in the fourth quarter, and that's what you want to see. You want to see guys, but the thing is that it happens. It's streaky. It's hard. I obviously the Bucks play at 1 and 2, so I'm at work. They can't play at 7 o'clock when I can watch them. I don't know. Was we see the stat line, and in the first 3 quarters, he's 3 for 10 or 3 for 12. Well, was 4 of those shots he missed in and out? Were they right there? Just off. That happens. We've all played basketball pickup in a gym. We've all went home going, oh man, I had and not that it's just pickup, but you know how it is. We're not. Don't get me wrong. I'm not comparing myself to NBA players. Those guys are a lot different. If they played against me, I whooped their ass. No, I'm just kidding.
They own you.
Yeah, I'm just saying. But you've been in a gym before. You shot a field. It's like, man, I'm right there. What it's just a little, and that's their job. They figured it out by the fourth quarter. You figured it out, and that's all we wanted. Yep. They went 3-1, went 4-1. They're moving on, and but back to the whole team concept. They struggle with Miami for some reason. I don't know why.
But now we're looking at a series. We're looking at a 7-game series. I just think that the Bucks have more depth, and then they're better. I mean, if the Heat, what's going to happen is you're going to have a game where the Heat hit 18 threes, but the next night they're going to hit 3. And that's the way it's going to be.
That's a good point.
And if the Bucks can be consistent and hit their threes, hit 12, and then you have Giannis. Giannis is getting 30. If he gets 30. 16 and 6 like we just saw against the Heat, and then our guys can hit an average of 11, 12 threes a game, we win. And we play better defense. The Heat play good defense, and the Heat have had injury issues. Well, and they're going to come around.
But next week we will talk
more.
We
will find out.
And see where they are.
Yep. Hell yeah.
So here's the next topic I'm bringing up, the MLB. They are about close to halfway. We're about 30 games. So right now you have in the divisions we have I want to make a correction. Jace in his Sports Minute called them Devil Rays. They're not the Devil Rays anymore. They are the Rays. So I don't want nobody getting upset with our show and calling the wrong team. The Rays though are up by 4 games right now. The Indians are up by Indians and White Sox. The White Sox have been on a tear right now.
Hell yeah, they are.
Wow, and I can't remember who said the White Sox might make the World Series. I can't remember who on our show said that. White Sox Cubs. I don't know who said that. You guys remember?
I think it might have been me.
No, I think it was.
I know I have the White Sox in the playoffs.
I think it was me.
I think you're right.
I had the Sox and Cubs. I said that, but the Cubs and Indians tied top of the division. But you have the Twins a game and a half out. And you have the Tigers only 4 games out. So you never know. In the West, the A's are up by 2.5 with the Astros right there. And you have in the National League East, the Braves up by 3 over the Phillies. And the Cubs right now are up 3.5 over the Cardinals. And in the West, the Dodgers, which everybody expected. But the Padres are a team that are just hanging out, man. And you don't want to face them. I don't know how the playoffs are going to work, but if you got to go to San Diego and play games in that big park, it changes your pitching a lot. But I do want to say one thing. Shout out to the Cubs, not because I'm a Cubs fan. Today, the Cubs, first team Major League history, that their 3 starting outfielders all hit 2 home runs each. Hayward,
awesome.
Happ, Schwarber, and Schwarber had a grand slam in that mix. So
Career.
So this is Sunday, and they won 10-1 over the Reds, split the series. And in baseball, splits in 4-game series are just as good as that's what you want to do. Get in and get out of town. Craig Kimbrell is still garbage. He needs to be shipped off to Iowa
Cubs.
But Iowa isn't playing right now, so ship him off to wherever he wants to go.
South Bend.
I think the Craig Kimbrell experience is over. I think it's done. I don't know what the Cubs are thinking. I have no idea. I watched the game last night, and they were up by a run, and it went walk, wild pitch, hit, pass ball, wild pitch, because it went through Contreras' 5-hole, so he gets the call, and I will blame Contreras because you said that, and they lost. So one hit to win the game, down by 1 in the seventh inning because it was doubleheader. So, I mean, it's over. I mean, what is he doing there still? And then the Cubs go out today and trade for Jose Martinez. That's great and all. I understand you want lefty bats, power hitters. I get it. But what does that do for the? Can he close?
That's my question.
Not
too.
that you're going to get.
I'm a Tiger fan.
You're not going to go. Yeah, you're not going to go to a closer this year. But what are we doing as Cubs? You know, because right now the Brewers, and we're in the area of Brewers, Cubs. So we'll talk about the Brewers. The Brewers right now are struggling. They're in trouble, and there's rumors that Josh Hader is on the block, and the Padres have been asking, so he might be on the way out. And if they get rid of Hader, the Brewers are done. They're done. They're done. Hader is and I know Hader blew a save last night on Saturday, but right now I think they are on the edge of and I think the Brewers should trade Hader. If they can get prospects, trade him.
Right.
Because he's not single-handedly going to win you championships. You passed that time. It's over. It's done. You had your chance. You lost to the Dodgers in 7 games to get to the World Series. That time is gone. Like I said about the Cubs last week, I'll say about the Brewers. You need to sell at the right time, and Hader, it needs to go now. That's my opinion. Eric, you...
Well, would you take him on the Cubs?
They won't trade him to Cubs, though. That's just
true.
If they would, I'd take him in a heartbeat, but it's a different situation. Because the Cubs, what David Ross would do with the Cubs, he'd automatically become a closer. And that's where the Brewers have... And I understand what Craig Counsell has done. He's become this manager. I mean, he's so good. But, yeah, he uses Hader for 3 innings on Monday. You can't see me on the Wednesday or Thursday. So you win a game on Monday and hope for the best. And the Brewers have done well the last couple of years with... And not beating the Brewers up. But I'm telling you right now, the last couple of years, they've been smoking mirrors, man. They've got to this point But now what they did this year, they thought that they could be better by bringing guys like Justin Smoke. And I like Justin Smoke. I think he's a good player, but he's not as good as Moustakas. Not even close. I mean, the problem with the Brewers is that they thought their offense carried out points in the last couple of years, and their pitching did well. Kind of almost like a yin and yang. They were good. But now... They neither carries a team. Josh Hader, by far, you could argue is one of their best players. And when you're talking about a guy that you're hoping you can relieve every other day as your best player, I don't think that bodes well. I don't think it does.
And top of that, Kane opted out.
Yeah, and Lorenzo Cain left, and that's his prerogative. I just think I think they should trade Hader because he's going to want. No matter what he did the other day, blowing whatever, a save. I don't know. He's going to want a lot of money.
Oh, yeah.
And the Brewers don't want to pay nobody. They want to. Moustakas is the guy the Brewers should have kept.
Oh, for sure.
Hands down. I don't care if I know he's hitting 235. He's been hurt a little bit, but he's still good, right? I mean, he's still good.
Yeah.
I'd take Moustakas. I'd take Moustakas right now at the Cubs. I can see a couple spots for him. I mean, we don't have Bryant right now.
Right.
I mean, he can play third for the Cubs right now without Bryant. I'd be fine with him. And he's cheaper. So, you guys have anything else about the NL Central, as they call it?
It's pretty weak right now. Just looking at
I think the Cubs are going to end up taking it.
They should.
They're going to take it.
We're like at 96.2% right now.
Yeah, even with the same issues we're talking about every day with the bullpen, and they're still going to take it.
Yeah, with the Cardinals struggling now too, and the Reds, I actually think the Reds might be the wild card now. I know I picked the Brewers, Cubs, and Reds to make the playoffs. I think the Reds get in possibly because they're playing better. But I think the Brewers and Cardinals are going to disappear with the Pirates.
The Reds are going to be a team you worry about next year.
Yeah, and the Reds.
Bauer's awesome.
the Reds are always around. I mean, the Reds the last few years always have been competitive. They come on at the end. They just got to get a full season, and obviously this year with the short season. Next year, hopefully, they get to play the full season. We'll see different things, and I just think that's we'll see. I mean, so last week we held our inaugural, not first annual. That's incorrect.
That's right.
Basement Benchwarmers fantasy draft, and in my division was the Curved Giants and Fire Breathing Kittens, along with my team, Eric Loves Spandex. And then Team Wilson was with Team. Who was your division again?
I think it was Sean and
Seaside.
Seaside. What the heck their names are? And
Jace.
Sparky.
LL. Yep,
Sparky.
LL. And then who was yours, Eric? Do you remember who's in your division?
I got the quarterback heavy D-Lo G, which is my brother-in-law David, and then Glenn, who had to go ahead and name his team Spandex and Saddles.
And then and
then I'm Lance Pants.
Lance Pants
2.0.
And then Ed, he had, I believe, his team is Edge Shower Ninjas. And then Benny with a little bit of a rat problem. And then the other team would have been Culver's Dumpster. The one thing I'm going to say about we'll talk about our league as the year goes on, but a couple things, sleepers and guys you want to reach for maybe off the top of your head. I don't want to, because as drafts start going this week, a couple things I have seen. I believe here's a couple tips I'm going to give you, and you guys disagree or agree, let me know. Fantasy tip number one: unless you're in some league that quarterbacks are some crazy, insane number, do not waste your pick on a quarterback in the first, second round. I'm telling you right now. I know Mahomes, it's all glittery and shiny, but do not, because I'm going to tell you right now. So for teams, if quarterbacks, here's what basically the old thing is. From 1 to 15 in quarterbacks, the points are, if you look historically, it's very minuscule. Running backs from 1 to 15 there's a huge difference, and receivers also, especially in PPR. Also, do not fret off of bye weeks. Forget that. If your team's good, you can afford to have a bye week where you lose, or you might compete, right?
Concur.
Don't fret. Don't sit there and go, oh, God. Now, I do disagree with taking... one thing I will say, don't take Amari Cooper and Michael Gallup or CeeDee Lamb, because you're kind of beating yourself up in the same position. That's one thing I will say. But once again, that bye week thing, throw it out the window. If your team's good enough, you draft a good team, you can afford to have 1 week where you kind of punt it, because you'll win. Usually if you win 9 games, 10 games in the 13 weeks before playoffs, you're probably going to make the playoffs, right? So if you have 1 week, you have a rough week, it is what it is. I got my good team, I'll flow with them. But quarterbacks, I know Mahomes and Lamar Jackson, they look good, but be careful. I'm not saying that's your cost, but I'm going to tell you right now, I'm not taking them in the first 2 rounds. Although I lied because I had to take one the other night in the draft.
I was going to say.
That was in our draft.
Hello.
I did it kind of just to check it out. Kind of to, hey, prove my point. Let's see how I do this year. I took a quarterback in the second round. See how it works. I had a draft the other night. I didn't touch a quarterback actually, I kept Drew Brees from the year before because it's a weird keeper league. So I kept Drew Brees in my quarterback. Hopefully he stands up for a year because he is, 77 years old? I don't know how old the guy is.
Something like that.
But you guys have any tips that you kind of would throw out there for guys drafting in fantasy? Anything?
Well, yeah, I'm the same way with the bye weeks. I don't pay much attention to them because who cares? I mean, if you could get good quality players, take them. And
good example. So let's say you got McCaffrey right away, and the next round came around, you could have Michael Thomas. And not that's going to happen.
And they have the same bye week.
Oh, my God. I can't take Michael Thomas.
Oh.
Yeah,
exactly. And then the thing that you said about the players on the same team, okay, you take Ezekiel Elliott in the first round, and in the third round you get Amari Cooper. Oh, well.
Yeah.
I mean...
I don't like taking this... I don't take... Like I said, don't take Cooper and Gallup.
Yeah, that's the thing. You're not going to take...
You're going to yank at each other.
You're not going to take Marvin Harrison and Reggie Wayne.
But I'm not against taking Amari Cooper and Blake... Darwin, what's his name? The kid, the new tight end.
I think it's Darwin.
I'm not against Darwin because they're different. They're tight end. You need a tight end, and you need to move on.
In Dallas, Jarwin.
Oh, Jarwin, I'm sorry.
Hey, the other
I
thing
was
to worry about
messing
is
around with the
kickers.
Darwin thing. I don't.
Kickers, I always worry about kickers. You don't want the same week. You never know.
Willie wants to take. I always, when I do kickers, I always look. I don't look. I just look for a kicker with a low bye week, so I got to spend money on picking one up later.
For sure.
Week 11, I'll do that and hope for the best.
I take the kickers late. I mean, defenses now. I mean, you kind of make sure you figure out a good defense. But
They score big sometimes.
going back to the quarterback thing, I tend to want to have a good quarterback, but I'm not going to go any earlier than third round. Really.
I'm a big fan. I'm a big proponent of what I like to do in my draft is how it sets up. I like to fill my receivers and running backs before my quarterback, unless there's something that's when I get to a point, it's like, and it's about what you think. If I get to the fifth round and and it won't happen in most drafts, but if Lamar Jackson's sitting there and the best tight end left is sitting there, we're going to take Lamar Jackson. Obviously, Lamar Jackson won't be in there in the fifth round, though. Obviously,
Yeah.
but
For sure.
if I got a chance between, let's just say Aaron Rodgers is going later, or the best tight end or third best tight end, I'm probably going to take the third best tight end.
Yeah.
Because it's just I don't know. It's about bottom line. It's the most points. Doesn't matter who scores it for you.
That's true.
Yeah. So that's what I feel.
And I mean, a lot of PPR leagues that I'm in, that will have the quarterback touchdown be 6 points versus 4. So that's a different story.
Oh, I agree totally.
Yeah. So I mean, what I try to
Quarterback
do
in a 4 point. If you're in a 4-point quarterback league right now, and every other touchdown is worth 6 points,
Yeah.
quarterback should not be taken until the 7th, 8th round. Right now, I'm telling you right now,
exactly.
that's
but
just stupid.
That 6 point thing changes a lot of things, and then you're looking third, fourth. So I always just try to say, okay, you know what? I'm not taking a quarterback in the first 2 rounds. I'm taking either a wideout, running back, whatever that combination is, and in the third round I'll start thinking about it. And then I take 5. I have a list usually of 5 quarterbacks. I'm like, these are my guys. I want one of these 5. So whether I take it in the third or the fourth, depending on what I can do, that's what I do. And I'm not one of those guys that waits too long. I don't want to have, Matt Stafford as my
number one
quarterback. I want to
Why
have.
shouldn't you, for Pete's sake?
I want to have
Matt
Russ.
Stafford's and he's healthy. He's a serviceable.
He's
guy.
gonna be
And-
stud
but-
this
but
year.
I'm
We're
also-
always behind.
But I'm also
Right.
okay with this year letting Mahomes and Jackson go.
And Trubisky.
And if Mahomes and Jackson are going in the first 2 rounds, fine, so be it. But I want either Russell or I want Russell Wilson, maybe Deshaun Watson. I've had 2 drafts, three drafts, and I have Deshaun Watson in one. I have Russell Wilson in one, and in my salary cap non-auction league, I have Aaron Rodgers.
Go figure.
But I didn't have to spend much money on him.
Good luck with that, Titanic.
Anyway, but that's where I go. I got 5 or 6 guys, and that's I'm not gonna shoot for.
Willie, any tips from the old regime, the old paper and pen fantasy league?
Rotisserie
I
football.
remember back in the day, that's how we used to do it. The USA Today, you waited out Tuesday. That's how you figured it all out. And that's
Any tips though on how to draft? Don't jack Johnny U. He's not good enough right now.
well, I would just make sure you had a pencil that has a eraser.
Okay, so real quick, I'm gonna throw one out there, kind of a sleeper. I was gonna take him the other night in my draft, and I kind of balked on it. I wish I would have. And I think right now this guy should be drafted, and this isn't a sleeper type thing because he's being drafted in the first round by many guys. But I gotta look through my
Can I make a
paperwork.
guess?
Yeah, go ahead.
Can I make a guess? The running back from LSU. Yeah, for the Chiefs.
I agree totally.
Yeah.
That's what I'm talking about. The Chiefs running back right now, Edwards
Yes,
Hilaire.
that's right.
He's
yeah.
a first-round pick, though.
But I'm telling you right now, I mean, last night I was in a draft on Friday.
Good guess, huh?
Yeah, and I was number 5, and I got Kamara at 5. After I was debating, and after I you know what, I understand the New Orleans offenses. Don't worry, they're going to score points. They're going to get guys in space, and I'm not upset about Kamara, but. If you're in the first round and you like Edwards Hilaire, I think he should be rated higher than Derrick Henry, hands down. I think he's ahead of even Michael Thomas because he's going to catch a lot of passes. He's going to catch the ball. This kid is the whole package. And now with, I can't remember his name, who is not playing because of COVID, who opted out from the Chiefs.
Damian Williams.
Damian Williams. He is down now. So you're down or back. So and they say he's having a great camp. So that's one guy I'm going to say in the first round. And I know it's crazy. But he's the first one. But I'm not saying but I think he might be worth looking at, even kind of pushing almost to the point of the Ezekiel Elliott area. I'm not, because he's going to catch passes. I mean, I'm telling you, he might be the poor man's Saquon Barkley at this point. That's my feeling about Hilaire. And the other guy, now I'm going to ask you guys about sleepers, but I'm going to throw an actual sleeper out to you guys now. And the sleeper I have right now is Zach Moss from Buffalo. And the reason he's a sleeper is because Devin Singletary is having fumble problems in camp, and so he had fumble problems last year. No team drafts a running back 2 years in a row unless they have plans for the new guy. And I believe Zach Moss, by third, fourth, fifth game, will be the starter in Buffalo unless something crazy happens. He will be the starter in Buffalo. And I think Zach Moss is a guy that you can... I believe Zach Moss is going to have a great year. A good fantasy year. I'm not talking MVP stuff, but good enough to be like an 8th, 9th, 10th round guy. I really do.
I'm writing him down right now.
I just did. Zach Moss.
Zach Moss. I think that's his name. I could be wrong on his name.
You're correct.
Okay, thank you, Zach Moss. So, Eric, do you have anybody on top here that blows off, that goes okay off the sheet? You know, like a 7th, 8th round, 9th round guy. We all know the guys that you're going to pick. But you have anybody that, right now off your head, I like this guy?
I mean, I like this guy.
Oh, there you go.
But I want to. I guess I'm going to go off on a different area because are you guys are in keeper leagues?
Yeah,
okay.
Kind of one keeper league. I mean, it's kind of a real simple keeper league, and the other one's dynasty, so you can keep who you want.
So I had an auction. Oh, I can't say auction. I had a salary cap league the other night. And so there was a fight because we did have a great NFL draft as far as a crop of receivers. We know that.
Receivers are insane.
The receivers were insane. The Packers didn't take any of them. And we also had a few good running backs. So in a keeper league, in the salary cap value league, whatever you want to say, is you're trying to find good values, okay? So there was a fight, which then it takes away from it because there was a fight for and you talked about Hilaire, whatever, and he's going for like $40-$50, so you can't keep him. He's not a keeper. It's like the Saquon Barkley of a few years ago. You can't keep him if you're drafting. So you really had to reach down, and you're looking at your Jerry Jeudy's, and you're looking at Swift on the Lions. And even those guys were going so high in the value of the auction. It's like, I'm trying to take these guys so that I could keep them for the next 3 years. And that value was way too high. Like Swift was way too high. Jerry Jeudy, and I did take Jeudy, but again, I had to get Jeudy at like $20. He's not that for me. That's not a keeper going in the next year. So now I'm going down the list and I'm looking at guys like Ruggs and Rieger on the Eagles, who I just saw is out now 3-4 weeks. So you're like reaching for some of these rookie guys that got drafted. You're reaching because you're trying to get them at a value at a keeper level going in the next few years. And so if you have not had your salary cap drafts, be careful of that because guys are going to get desperate and they're going to bid way too high on the Jerry Jeudy's and the Swift and even A.J. Dillon of the Packers. And it's probably because his quads are so enormous that he ended up going for like $14 and that's way too high if you're trying to think about the future and thinking about keepers. So I think I went on way too long. I just wrote down Zach Moss.
Well, anybody?
Yeah, I agree with what you said.
Thanks, Ed.
Thanks, Ed.
So you're good?
I'm good.
Another guy out there that you might want to think about is Damian Harris from the Patriots. I know the Patriots are a tough team for all fantasy players. They are such an enigma with who they're going to start. But Damian Harris is getting a lot of ticks there. I know Sonny Michel's came off of injury, but as long as Damian Harris doesn't fumble, he'll be able to play. As soon as he fumbles, he won't be playing no more. That's the Patriot way. So those are the couple guys we threw out there for you guys. Also, I did bring up Jarwin. Was that his name? The tight end from, I think, Dallas. So he's the tight end there. No more Witten. So, I mean, obviously, they used tight end in Dallas for years. They can keep using him. I believe they will. And I think Jarwin is athletic, and he might have. I'm going to throw it out there. I think Jarwin could be a top 4 or 5 tight end this year in fantasy. I really do. Besides the usual Kittles, Kelseys, Ertzes, and guys like that all over the
What's
place.
Witten going to do now? Is he going to be on Thursday Night Football?
No, he's
on Oakland. He's
on
the
Raiders.
He's the second guy in Oakland.
Las Vegas.
What do you think Gruden would talk about when he saw?
You know, this Jason Witten guy's been around forever. I really like this addition to our team. I think right now, 16-0, baby.
Yep, the Raider way. So we're getting along. Let's go right to our top 10. This will be a good one.
Ladies and gentlemen, here's tonight's top 10.
So this week's top 10 is Ed's not here, so it is top 10 things Ed's doing on his night off. So what is Ed's doing? Number 10. He is vacuuming his bear skin rug right now. Number 9, it's 2 dogs, 1 cup, and peanut butter. Number 7, watching replays of the 2019 Little League World Series.
Go figure.
Number 6 would be massaging his frog. And he has a frog. It's not an innuendo. It's a frog.
Multiple.
Oh, I'm sorry. That was 7, the massaging his frog. Number 6, he's choking one of his chickens.
Must have went crazy on him.
Number 5, he's oiling his guns. Number 4, he's renewing his membership for Hair Club for Men.
Yeah, he lost his money.
It's not working.
Number 3, he's shopping for flannels on Duluth Trading Company. Number 2, he's buying Speedos for his next diving excursion. And the number 1 thing Ed's doing on his night off, he's retiling the shower. Yeah! Double horns!
Wait, I want to say.
Okay, hold on. Jace, what do you want to say?
Isn't Ed the guy in the Duluth Trading commercials, the cartoons? Isn't he the model?
That's him. That is him, yeah.
With the plumber's crack?
Yeah, that's him.
Well, shit.
So I think we touched base on all the stuff we got to touch base on. We talked about the playoffs, baseball, fantasy a little bit. I know we didn't have much of a fantasy show, but hey, you know what? I'm not giving away my secrets. I mean, you guys need to figure out your own. You guys might be listening. Might be.
I think we said too much.
I
believe we did.
So closing thoughts tonight, Eric. Any closing thoughts on tonight's show?
My closing thoughts are that I need to get home before curfew. Whoops, I missed.
Willie, any closing thoughts?
Yeah, we're playing Coob after this. We're playing Coob. Yes, we are.
And my closing thoughts are: everybody just stay safe as usual. We are the Basement Benchwarmers podcast. You can find us at Twitter at Base Benchwarmers, also on Facebook at Basement Benchwarmers, Instagram at Basement Benchwarmers, and I'm going to pick a winner for our fan poll. And this week's winner is Rick Beasley because he picked mine, Deadpool.
I love that.
Rick Beasley wins a shirt from us. If you hear this, please send us a message and you'll get your shirt. But besides that, once again, we are the Basement Benchwarmers podcast. And stay healthy, wash your hands, and have a good week.
Earth is shaking on the sea.